Hi there, my name is Jo. This is a video response to Loving Doubt, whose videos I just started watching, I would say within the last month. I've watched a whole bunch of them though. I really enjoy your stuff. I think I got to you through a guy named My View on the Matter, and he subscribed to me. Now, I don't know how he found me because I don't make a lot of videos about religion. I've started to in recent weeks, but not like you guys, like not every video, just the odd one happens to be about religion. So let me just think about this out loud. I was raised fundamentalist, dogmatic, I always call it rabid, but fundy dogmatic Catholic. Very, very cultish. I often say I was raised in a cult because in my mind I was. The kinds of things, the teachings on sin and hell, and especially child rearing, childbirth, what women are here on this planet for, those types of things were really, like, there was not a lot of discussion. It was just understood that this is how it has to be. And when I finally found out alternatives to that lifestyle, and that religion is extremely misogynistic and hates women and treats women like garbage and damns them to hell for making reproductive choices, I obviously walked the other way. In that time, so over the years, I've struggled a lot with being what I call a recovering Catholic, and I've never really called myself an atheist though. There was a little spell, tiny spell when my best friend died that I questioned whether or not I believe in a higher power, but I think I do. I think I do believe in a higher power. I don't call it God. If anything, it's just nature. It's just the fact that nature is bigger than I am, and it can do things I can't, and it is more powerful than me. That's all. I'm not talking heaven, hell. I'm not talking a God that you pray to, begging for mercy. No, 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 no. Just, I feel like I'm part of this planet, a small part of it, and there are things that are bigger than me and more powerful than me that I don't understand. I guess that's my definition of God. Okay, but how do these videos on YouTube impact me? That's a great question. I love it, man. I love it because I watch a lot of YouTube videos on a lot of different strange subjects. And to see these communities take shape of, ideas that I may have, it may have been just one line in a book that I would have skipped over, but to see someone make a whole video discussing why they think that's important, fascinates me. It fascinates me a lot. And like, for instance, I think it was one of your videos, or for sure it was, I know My View on the Matter made mention of it. It was the concept of hell and how can you, if you're a Christian, even how can you believe that your God came up with that thing in the first place, eternal torture? And then how can you let anybody, if I were Christian, I would be Bundy evangelical, banging on doors, Christian, trying to stop them from going to hell. Much like if people were wandering into traffic, I would stop them from getting hit by a car because I don't want to see people suffer. And I think Christians, knowing that other people who are not Christian, who are going to suffer eternally, eternal damnation, how can they live with themselves knowing that that's going to happen? So that was something I hadn't thought of before until I saw some videos on YouTube, and they were fascinating to me. And I just keep watching your channel and his channel and some other channels, and although again I feel a little bit weird, like a little bit of an outsider, because I don't consider myself an atheist. I don't have anything wrong with atheism. I think it's the more logical choice if you had to pick between theism or non-theism. Non-theism seems to be the more logical choice, and I'm a very logical person. I'm a computer tech by day. I'm I do science for a living, or technical work for a living that requires logical thinking. I guess where I sort of part ways with atheists is I just feel like I'm almost an atheist, but not enough that I feel like I'm part of the community. Not quite, because I do believe there's something, I guess. I watch a lot of other videos of communities. Like, for instance, I watch a lot of videos from transgendered people because I don't identify exclusively as female or male. I consider myself somewhat genderqueer. And it wasn't until I started watching those videos and feeling, and really getting a sense of the community and how there are so many different ways to be, and you don't have to feel isolated, and you don't have to feel alone or confused. You can find people out there like you who make YouTube videos and explain it, and you see their face and you see their background. Like, for instance, I'm moving. Here are cardboard boxes, right? I'm moving on Sunday to out into the country because I require country air and fresh air and crickets and birds, and that's what my soul needs. I need quiet living. I'm sick of city life. That's just the person I am. I'm 37 years old. I mean, I've lived in the city all my life, and I'm only now starting to realize what my soul needs to be serene. But yeah, to get the sense of community, to get different ideas expressed in different ways. So for instance, Loving Doubt is the person who I'm replying to. Your videos are awesome. I don't know much about you. You're young, you're articulate. I've watched your story about your Pentecostal conversion. I haven't got to the deconversion part yet. You haven't actually shared it, have you? But I think, wow, like that's really ringing true. So much of what you say rings true in my ears from my upbringing and how I would think. I was smart and articulate, and I wanted to spread the word, but I was a woman, and that's not really encouraged now, is it? And how you just sort of convince yourself of other. You talk yourself out of what your logic is telling you to be true, and in the name of this crazy ass religion. So, the theist non-theist debate, I find fascinating on YouTube. I love it. I also want to mention that one of the other channels I subscribe to is Deepak Chopra, whose books I adore. And I love almost everything about Deepak. And I love his theories. And I've made a video actually on his theories of prayer, because you'll notice Deepak never uses the word God, or he doesn't even talk about religion. He talks about the non-local self and the local self, or the non-local soul and the local soul. And I love stuff like that. That speaks to me because it really takes God out of the equation, but it does introduce an element of spirituality. And yet here I was watching some theist debate. It's actually, maybe I will put a link to it right here. I'll put the link to it right here. It was a series of videos on Deepak's channel about, is there a God? And he was taking the side of there is a God. And the people who were arguing the side of there is no God were phenomenally good speakers and really, truly made amazing arguments. So I do spend a lot of time watching videos on YouTube on these topics. Probably will for quite some time. Continue to make videos on the subject as I see it. I often feel a little bit wary of talking, because I talk about religion a lot in my daily life, and I have very strong opinions of it, but they're not very popular because, I'm very anti-Christian. And I think it's wrong to raise people Christian. I think it's wrong to raise children Christian, and it's wrong to make children feel that way about themselves, specifically young girls, or to introduce the concept of hell into like an innocent child's, thought processes. So those are my opinions, and they're not popular. But here I can say them on YouTube pretty freely, and I don't mind the responses I get either. I get all kinds of crazy responses to my videos. A lot of my videos are about travel. I traveled extensively for quite some time. I learned how to drive a transport truck. I learned how to ballroom dance. I mean, if you check my channel out, there's all kinds of crazy videos on there, none of which have anything to do with religion. But I do get a lot of weird. One of them is me trying on an Indian sari, the dress that's my cat sneezing. And I was showing how to wrap it, and I'm not very good at wrapping it, but it was a video just for my friend, but it's had 1/3 of a million page views, and all I get are responses where people call me like there's different terms that I guess I don't even know the language, Hindi or Indian, calling me names, saying I'm a white chick trying too hard, or I'm not doing it right, and I just laugh. I mean, that's the nature of the internet, isn't it? It's great that we can all express our opinion. You can say anything you want about me or my videos. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It's okay. You have a right to your opinion. I have a right to mine. I also love this phrase. I'll just wrap up with this phrase because I'm getting on to the 9-minute mark. I will consider the rights of those around me, especially their right to live their life as they see fit, which is not really true because I don't really like people practicing Christianity in front of me. But they do have the right to practice, just as I have the right not to, and to practice what I see fit and live my life as I see fit. Anyway, thanks for the question. Great question. Love your videos. Thanks for being there.